In this video, I'm going to be adding an extra battery to the TamoByke V20. A link to the products is above and also in the description. Now, this battery adds about 15 miles of range on top of the factory battery. You can source an optional larger battery if you wish. You can mount this battery in two places, between the seat and the handlebars and underneath the seat if you wish. You're also going to need a battery combiner, which I mounted down here, which safely allows me to run both batteries simultaneously or one individually. Now, before we get started on the install, I hope that you liked this video, subscribe to my channel. So let's get after it. To hook up the second battery, you're going to need a few extra parts. You're going to need this battery combiner. This is a 30 amp version. You can also use a 25 amp because the controller in here only peaks at 22 amps. I like to use this inline switch so that I can toggle the extra battery on and off, and then some extension cables depending on where you're going to mount the battery on the frame, whether here between the seat and the handlebars or under the seat. So in order to gain access to the controller is actually in the battery mount. So you're going to have to go and remove the battery like this, and the controller is in this space here. You're going to need a short screwdriver with a really good point because these screws tend to strip out, and you want to make sure that you get good grip on the screw head when you're removing it. All right, there we have it. There is the controller. So this is the same controller that's on the V30. It maxes out at 21 amps. So that's probably what restricts the performance. And there you see the XT60 connector that connects the controller to the factory battery. And that is where I'm going to be plugging in the battery combiner. Now, in order to hook up the battery combiner, you're going to simply separate the XT60 yellow connector here. This is for the factory battery. This goes into the controller. I'm going to hook everything up for the sake of demonstration purposes, but it's up to you on how you want to route the cables. There is a hole in the frame. You could route the cables through that hole and then up to the seat or up to the handlebar region, depending on where you want to mount that extra battery. But the nice thing is the battery combiner is foolproof, so you can't really connect things backwards. Now you have the female goes to the controller. You have the male connector. One of them will go to the factory battery, and then the other connector will go to the second battery or the extra battery. For this case and for safety, I'm going to install this switch, this inline switch. So here we have it like this. I'm going to install that XT60 connector as such. Here, I'll set this on the pedal. And then, like I said, you'll have these extension cables. You might need an 8-inch, a 12-inch, or even an 18 or 24-inch extra cable. But for the sake of this demonstration, I'm going to connect the battery. And you're going to see here, I have the battery toggled off for safety purposes right now. To test that the extra battery is working, I'm going to go ahead and turn on the bike with just the extra battery. The first thing I'm going to do is toggle on the switch here, and then I'm going to turn on the bike like I normally do. You can see it powers up fine. I'm going to turn the pedal assist speed all the way up to 5, and I'm going to make sure that the top speed gets to 28 miles an hour or 45 kilometers. On the extra battery, you can see it does. It doesn't have any degradation in performance, and everything is looking good. I can also double check that this switch works by shutting this off, and you can see the screen powers off. I'm going to route the cables and route them through the frame to where I want the battery to be mounted. That'll be the difficult part of this task, and then reinstall this cover plate and then reinstall the factory battery. And then I'll be able to run both batteries. Both batteries should give me a range of close to 40 miles, so that should be pretty respectable. I hope that you liked this video. Subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions, please leave in the comments. Thanks for watching.